NCAA and lawsuits. So we know that Michigan got in hot water during the Harbaugh era because of violations of recruiting during the blackout period and COVID. And a whole bunch of people got suspended, including Harbaugh, including the new head coach, Sharon Moore. Illegal contacts when it was supposed to be a dark period where nobody was supposed to recruit. They did. They got caught. They got tagged. Now there's a notice of allegations of a second series of rule-breaking violations committed by Sharon Moore at the University of Michigan again. And this has to do with all types of recruiting violations as it relates to players at the University of Michigan and the illegal scouting situation a year and a half ago with a guy by the name of Connor Stallions. He was an assistant on the staff who illegally went out in person and videotaped opponents' games so they could use it to scout. He left the university just like that. Now we find out that the new head coach at Michigan, Sharon Moore, had access to texts between Connor Stallions and the coaching staff about what he saw, the data he was providing to Michigan. And Sharon Moore has been implicated now by the NCAA deleting and hiding all those text messages from the scout in the field. Sharon Moore, I think, is going to get suspended again. Harbaugh said, I had no knowledge. I find that hard to believe because he has knowledge and fingerprints on everything. But at this point in time, he's not in college football anymore, so they can't really do much more to him except maybe ban him forever for coaching again. But the Michigan head coach could be in big trouble. The other story, just up the road in East Lansing, Mel Tucker got fired last offseason. Mel Tucker, guilty of sexual harassment, having a relationship with a woman that he brought in to speak to his players about sexual harassment, sexual rape, and all that on campus. And then he got involved in a, quote, affair and then tried to hide it and cover it up, refused to cooperate. He's owed 8 years, $80 million on his contract. He says he was illegally terminated. Michigan State says, no, you were not. You violated all this and you did not cooperate with our probe. You lied to us, etc. He's suing them for all $80 million at Michigan State. So you want to talk about the Wolverines? You want to talk about the Spartans? Go ahead, John.
Just a lot of people jockeying for position here. It's the Big Ten is supposed to be this first-class conference, and look what we got going on here.
Well, that's true, but that's the exception to the rule. Mm-hmm. It's not like the SEC, which stands for sure everyone cheats.
Yeah, that's a little bit different. I don't know. It reminds me a little bit of the Team Canada soccer coach with the drone, going out looking at the other practices. Now, clearly that's a violation of rules, like, scouting other teams with your own secret camera guy. But a lot of, again, these recruiting violations during dark periods, I think is a bunch of BS. Now, granted, they definitely violated the rule, but it's a bad rule in the first place. I mean, coaches and players and recruits should be able to talk whenever they want to talk. And then it was all during that COVID time where there are all these weird rules and everything. Did he violate them? Yeah, probably. But I think it's a dumb rule in the first place.
Okay. This guy's rather liberal. You know how he is. Okay. So we got that to talk about.